Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So we are going to be doing a pick a card reading today, and we're going to be asking Spirit, what do you not see? What is your blind spot? And just generally messages from your subconscious mind, your subconscious intelligence. So this is a little video series that I'm actually doing. It's like a 2-part series. So I'm going to be doing the pick a card aspect of it, and then I'm going to be doing a light language energy clearing to help you better work with the subconscious energy that you have available to you. So our subconscious mind is like 95% of our actual mind, and it governs things like our heartbeat, our breath, these things that we don't really consciously have to direct, in our body. And it also is, home to our belief systems, these sort of, you could say like subconscious blocks at times to us really being like the best version of ourselves. So this whole year I've studied the subconscious mind, and I've worked a lot with it in my community source codes, but now I'm going to bring it out into the public. And yeah, I'm really excited to share this information. It's been life-changing for me. And the number one way that I have personally worked with changing my subconscious mind is through a sleep tape, is through sleep tapes. I've actually made several, but I've actually made one to make available for my YouTube community now. And so all the information will be linked in the description below. But basically, I've used a sleep tape for about 1 year now, and I've made my own sleep tape in around May. Yeah, May is when source code started. And so I've been working with my own sleep tape since May, which has a light language infusion in it. And I have to say that I've found really great results from it. I'm really excited to actually say that I found something that really works. And I've had a lot of really great feedback from other people who have tried it. It's sort of this way of reprogramming the subconscious. Like, for example, if you do affirmations in your conscious mind, like in your conscious life, you say, I am beautiful, I am, abundant. There can be a resistance that occurs from the consciousness, because your conscious mind might look at your life circumstances and be like, well, I'm not abundant right now, or I'm not healthy right now, even though you're trying to affirm it and therefore create it, right? So when we work with the sleep tape, what we're doing is we're targeting straight and directly to the subconscious. So when you are like around age 0 to 7, okay, this is when you are in something called a theta brainwave state. So what it means is that you are very, you're in delta brainwaves for when you're a baby, and then you move into theta brainwaves up until around age like 7, 8. And during this time, it's kind of known as, this brainwave frequency, kind of similar to when you're in a hypnosis or a trance. So you're highly suggestible. So anything that is put forward to you, anything that you are labeled or called, or any beliefs that your parents or your culture imprints upon you, becomes a part of your subconscious belief network, okay? So of course we can have subconscious beliefs that truly serve us, and we can have subconscious beliefs that hinder us, okay? So for example, if you grew up in a situation where there wasn't a lot of money in your life growing up, then you could very well have imprinted into your subconscious mind patterns or beliefs around lack or scarcity. So these subconscious blocks can be very below our consciousness level. Like, it can be very hard to pinpoint, why does this thing keep manifesting in my life? Or why do I continuously have some kind of a block to, receiving abundance or whatever? So a lot of the time, the answers can actually be found within the subconscious. Now, the thing is that you don't have to feel powerless, okay, about your subconscious mind, because you have the power, you have the ability to reprogram it, all right? And that's where I come in. So the light language that I have infused into this sleep tape that I've made for you guys is makes it, to me, like in my experience, it's made it a lot more powerful, because light language is already working at that subconscious level and at that soul level. So it's very deep, thorough healing. And the other aspect of it that I love about sleep tapes is that it's 100% effortless, because you genuinely don't have to do anything except for listen to it as you fall asleep. So when you're falling asleep, I don't know if I said this already, when you're falling asleep, your brainwaves move temporarily into theta state. So during that little window as you're dozing off, it is the absolute perfect time to not only practice visualization, but also to listen to affirmations, to receive that input, because your conscious mind isn't there to block it and say, no, we're not abundant, remember? So it's truly the most effortless way of changing yourself. And I love this because so much of the time in like self-development work, it can require a lot of willpower and effort. And in this case, it does not require any effort except for the consistency of listening to it every night. So personally, I listen to it for the whole night through, and I've grown to love my sleep tapes. Like, it doesn't feel like a chore, it just feels like a delight, because I feel like subconsciously my body is like, yes, 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 yes. Now, the other thing is that what I've found in working with sleep tapes is that they will basically start to manifest for you in the most effortless way. So I've found that I would just be sitting in some kind of like, space, and I would find that an affirmation that I'd put into the sleep tape would come into my mind, and I would feel it as if it had manifested. So one of the affirmations, for example, was something like, I am, filled with infinite peace or something. And I had a moment where I truly felt that, and simultaneously I heard that affirmation. Now, there's other ways that it will show up. Like, for example, it will help improve your self-image. So your self-image is basically your kind of like projected version of yourself. Now, your self-image is very different to, say, how other people see you or the objective truth of who you are. Now, we can have a lot of distortions to do with our self-image, such as, not recognizing your own beauty, your own worth, your own power in any situation. So when we start to work with the subconscious mind, we are also shifting our self-image, our image of ourselves, of who we are and what we are capable of. And we are able to expand it to become a far greater version of ourselves. So again, this is all happening very subconsciously. This is all happening very effortlessly, because if you've ever worked with affirmations from a conscious place, which I have done for 3 or 4 years now, like religiously worked with them, and I didn't even know about sleep tapes, like what? But when you're working with these affirmations, a lot of the time I think that they can have a bit of a block when you're consciously trying to work with it, because it might feel even emotionally, you might have emotional resistance to saying, I am abundant or I'm healthy, if you are currently experiencing ill health or ill, money situation, right? So these sort of conscious blocks, or these even emotional blocks, can be so much more effortlessly worked through when we just target straight into the subconscious mind, straight into those theta brainwave states. Personally, I also feel that I used to listen to it only as I was falling asleep, and then I adjusted it to listen to it the whole night, and I found personally that I got better results from doing that. What else was I wanting to say? Well, the light language does make it more impactful. That's why I'm personally offering you all, a light language tape, because I feel that the light language just brings it to a different level. It's really cool. Let me just check my notes. I don't know what I remembered to say. I forgot to say. Yes, that's right. It will really help to shift blocked energy that is a lot harder to, like I said, work with from our conscious state. So if you think about when someone is in a hypnotic state, they are so highly suggestible, like those classic, hypnosis things where someone is like, act like they're under hypnosis, and they're like, act like a chicken, and then they'll, act like a chicken or whatever. So this is, when we're in the theta, we're so suggestible to the energy coming in. So we just sort of like instantly do it. And now this also, sleep tapes do work even if you are someone who's more like highly analytical or very logical, because again, it really is coming in beyond that conscious mind that is logic, that is, discerning, that is saying, well, this isn't true, or this isn't manifested yet, or whatever. So it's a really great advantage, because you basically can permanently change yourself without hardly any effort. Now, the other key to working with your subconscious mind is you have to be consistent, and you have to do it repetitively, okay? Because if you think about how you were programmed as a child, this was happening over, many years. Okay, so just listening to one sleep tape, once, it's not going to make as big of a difference as you will probably want, as the results that you'll probably want. So in order to change really in a permanent way, you just basically have to be very consistent, and you have to be aware of any kind of subconscious blocks that might come in that might, self-sabotage you. So it's an effortless thing, but still make sure that you are doing it consistently. So it's a very subtle change. The way I would describe it is like, that something has changed, but you can't fully put your finger on it. You're like, I feel different. I feel better. I feel expanded. I feel more peaceful. I feel more conscious of myself or of my thoughts, but you can't quite like put your finger on where it's come from. So yeah, I mean, it definitely also helps you to manifest, okay? Because again, we are such powerful creators. Like the subconscious mind, I just want to say, is like one of the most expansive, brilliant powers that we have available to us. And yet so much of the time we aren't like working with it to help us. Because for example, if you've ever met someone who is just like really great in terms of money, like they're always got money, or they're always managing to make more money, they've just got a great money mindset or a great money disposition, a great luck with money or whatever. Now maybe they got there through effort, but most of the time this would just be simply imprinted upon them at a subconscious level. Okay, so therefore money will be effortless for them. And this is what I mean about working with the subconscious is effortless, because if you are able to change a belief about yourself within your subconscious to being like, oh, money is easy for me to make, or I live in an effortless abundance all of the time, then that is going to basically manifest for you as effortlessly as, your beating heart, as effortlessly as your lungs breathing for you. You don't have to consciously direct this energy. You don't have to consciously be hypervigilant and be like, where's my next heartbeat coming from? It's just going to happen for you. And this is also really where, the power of manifestation comes in terms of being in the receiving mode. If you've ever studied manifestation or law of attraction, you understand that there is sort of two components to manifestation. There is firstly, the masculine, you could attribute it to a masculine quality of you need to take action in alignment with what you are manifesting, right? Some amount of action needs to happen, but at the same time you have to balance that equally with the receiving, with the feminine of just simply being and magnetizing energy to you, okay? So they kind of both have to take place for manifestation to occur. And what I found with the sleep tapes is that they really target both, because you'll feel more effort, you'll feel more energy to take aligned action, and yet you'll also recognize that you are kind of a magnet towards your desires. And so I found that the more receptive mode is really, really easy to work with sleep tapes. It really helps you get into that receptive mode and just make changes in your life. So yeah, it's powerful, it's subtle, it's easy, it helps to clear blocked energy, and it also, for me, I think helped me become a lot more aware of my own thoughts and my own consciousness. And sometimes we have to kind of learn about that stuff through the contrast of suddenly having a thought planted within you, like a seed of a thought planted within you that says, oh, I'm abundant. And then you suddenly can start to see evidence for that everywhere in your life. Because so often of the time, our work on earth is about our perception of events, okay? It's about our perception of events, because technically someone could have millions of dollars, but if they've got subconscious programming that says, I am, money isn't stable, or I'm afraid of losing money, or, money is always emptying out of my life and it's never coming back in, well, that's exactly what they are going to manifest. And this is one of the biggest things that I've learned about with the subconscious mind is like, you have to do it from the inside out, or else it will not work. And you can spend years and years and years and years chasing these external things, such as chasing a different version of your appearance, or chasing money, or chasing, relationships. But if you've got these core internal beliefs that are saying things like, I'm not worthy of love, I'm not worthy of money, I'm powerless to change my health, or whatever else, then that is still what is going to manifest. Even if you do all of that willpower effort to change your external reality, if your self-image is someone who is not beautiful, then you can be the most beautiful person in the whole world, and everyone in the whole world will tell you you're the most beautiful person in the whole world, but you yourself will not be able to see it. You yourself will not be able to receive that truth, to receive that perception. So yeah, The subconscious mind. I mean, it really helps us from the inside out to receive the truth about ourselves, to receive the manifestation, okay? Because like I said, if you manifest only from the external and you don't do any internal work, then it's not going to land for you. It's not going to be permanent and stable, and it's not going to feel the way that you think it's going to feel. For example, if you think that all my issues will be solved if I just lost weight, right? If I just was this size or this weight or whatever, well, you might be able to work really hard with your willpower to make those changes. But if your inner dialogue, if your inner belief system is still of someone who is overweight, of someone who is unhealthy, of someone who is unworthy of having health, all these different things that can block it, then even if you get to that desired goal, number one, you probably won't be able to keep it up because there's all these subconscious beliefs that are pulling you back into the old energy. But number two, you won't be able to receive the gift that you have just created for yourself because your self-image will still be one of someone who is overweight. Okay? So this is what I mean about our perception will create our reality. Like truly, if your perception is stubbornly implanted within you of someone who is poor or broke and you still manage to manifest money, then your subconscious it's like a magnet. It's gonna pull these manifestations back out of your life. Like you might be able to make 20K, in the first half of the year, but if your perception is someone, I only ever make, 20K a year, then you might go broke for the rest of the year. I know that's an intense example, but it's basically like our subconscious truly does manifest so much more than we think, especially if we consider that our conscious mind is 5% of our mind, okay? 5%. That is so overrun by that subconscious. And that's why when you target the subconscious, life becomes effortless because you don't have to work for the feeling of being beautiful, abundant, healthy, or whatever. It is subconsciously created for you effortlessly. Okay, so if you would like to learn more about the subconscious mind, then I'm going to also link some resources below so you can do your own research, so you can study it up, so you can take advantage of this beautiful opportunity. All right, so we're going to get into the reading now, and I'm going to pull 3 cards from the Earth Magic Oracle deck, and we're going to see what does Spirit want you to know that you're not seeing? From your messages from your subconscious mind. Okay, group number 1. Oh, I didn't want to come out. Group number 1. Ooh, we have river movement. Okay, group 2, your card fell and you got Gaia nurturing. Okay, and then group number 3. Love and compassion. Wow, I love this. Okay, so yeah, take your time choosing, and then the timestamps will be below, and then I'll see you for a reading. Okay, so river. I feel like what you're not seeing is that things are going to be moving forwards for you really soon, and you might not be seeing the way that things are going to kind of come together for you. I feel like Spirit wants you to know that you don't have to work as hard. Spirit wants you to not put in too much effort, not to overwork yourself if you're working towards a goal, or if you're having a lot of opportunities even to fill your schedule or do a lot of things. Spirit's just saying to kind of allow yourself a little bit more space to just be, and that's what's really going to help things move forward, because Spirit's saying if you are too busy or too overworked or too overrun, then it's going to kind of keep the energy a bit stagnant. So interestingly enough, Spirit's advice to you is to, if you want things to move forward, do less. Okay, if you want things to move forward, do less. And allow things to be more effortless. I'm feeling this, that feminine receptive energy here, evoking that receptive mode. Okay, what does Abraham Hicks say? The art of allowing. The art of allowing is coming through. So that is actually, I think sometimes, it depends on someone's disposition or their, unique energy, but I think sometimes for a lot of us, the allowing aspect of manifestation can be the hardest, because we've been taught to try to control or to exert our will or our effort in order to manifest things. So Spirit's saying so many miracles await you if you can kind of let yourself. So yeah, with the river movement, it's like, imagine you are on a river and you just like lay back and allow yourself to be kind of like carried downstream. Versus if you're in a river and you're in the entire time fighting and swimming and using all your effort to swim upstream. It's kind of like there is a natural flow in life, and spirit wants you to align with that. And it might seem counterintuitive a little bit to let go, to surrender, to do less in order to create more, to do less in order to get better results. But Spirit's saying if you give yourself the chance to really see this, then you're going to have like a real great miracle energy. I'm feeling like it's really nice. Okay, so what aren't you seeing? Group number 1. Messages from your subconscious. Didn't I say? Change. Things are changing. That's what I said. If you feel like, okay, Spirit's saying, if you feel like in order for things to change, that you have to work really hard or exert a lot of effort or be the one to like, you know, carry everything, then Spirit's saying no. What you aren't seeing is that change is happening for you. It's going to come to you. It's going to, like, I'm getting this real natural energy with these cards. You know, like, when a storm rolls in, like, I'm not saying your life is going to become like a storm or anything, although personally I love storms, it's my favorite weather. Anyway, but for example, if a storm rolls in, like, you don't have to control that. You don't have to manifest the weather, right? The weather's kind of happening around you. So I'm kind of seeing there's like something manifesting that is as effortless for you as if the weather changes. And it's going to bring a lot of change into your life, and it's much needed change I'm getting. I feel that maybe you've been a little bit weighed down a little bit by certain situations or circumstances in your life, and your spirit guides want to come through right now and just like send you so much love. Seriously, I'm feeling so much love for you coming through right now, and spirit really wants you to receive the love that is there for you, and to receive the fact that you are so worthy and you are so powerful, and you never have to feel like that things in life will never change, or that you'll always be within limitation, because the truth is that things always change. Things are always moving. Things are always growing and evolving. Just look at nature. Nature never stays the same. There's always seasons. There's always growth and decay that's happening. So Spirit's kind of saying, trust in the intelligence of the cycles of life and recognize that there is change coming for you big time. Like, it's a big change. And it's the emotions. Okay, yeah, because I'm seeing the river is like the water energy, and then we've got the orange of this change card, and it's like, my goodness, group 1, like, I feel like your sacral chakra might have been a bit blocked recently, and honestly, it happens. I think it happens often on Earth, because there can be a lot of density of emotion, you know, that can be sometimes quite hard to be able to continuously process, right? Sometimes things can get quite blocked and stuck. So what I'm seeing is that your sacral chakra is truly unblocking, and it's actually blossoming, I just heard. So I feel like, you know, it might be that your subconscious is telling you that you might need to like cry about something, or just like release a little bit of emotion, because I feel like there's been, you know, a lot of the time when energy is stuck, obviously it depends, and there's always like reasons for things even to be stuck, because, you know, maybe you have to work through a really painful emotion, and it's not easy to just fully like release it, you know, in one day. But what I'm saying is that when energy gets stuck, it's often that there's an emotion that needs actually to be released or honored, and that can be quite a vulnerable experience. But what Spirit is saying is that it's going to happen kind of for you, and in a very effortless way. Like, you're going to have an emotional release, and it's also going to give you insight and awareness about some pattern or some aspect of your life that's been stuck, or in a holding pattern that hasn't been changing, and you're going to be emotionally and karmically released from this. And the way that you do it is through crying, through releasing that emotional, through releasing some kind of, like, coming to some kind of truth where you can release the emotional experience you've been having. Your sacral chakra is going to flow. And do you know what else I'm seeing is, like, you might be surprised at how much joy is available to you over the next few months. Like, if you've been, again, I'm really feeling that there's been a tough situation that's been, you know, you've had to tough it out kind of thing. And Spirit is saying, like, it's okay to be sensitive. It's okay to let yourself be vulnerable. Your spirit guides are really there for you and are going to hold space for you if you need to have an emotional release, even if you are alone or something. Spirit is saying, like, connect in with your guides, do a prayer, pray, and be in a space on your own and give a prayer and say, Spirit guides, please help me to move stuck energy. Please help me to release emotion that I need to release, or recognize something that I need to recognize. And it's sort of like, in doing that, it's going to be a quick and brief emotional release, but in that space that is opened up, it's like so much joy can come in, because when the sacral chakra unlocks and it unblocks, it's like you just want to dance with life, you know, you just want to open your arms to the heavens and receive the beauty. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing for you. So especially that might be something you don't see right now, because you might be really stuck in some energy that felt like it wasn't changing. And that can also, when things aren't flowing in life, when energy isn't moving in life, when things aren't changing in our life, we can really feel emotionally stuck. Okay, and it's kind of like the chicken and the egg, which one happens first? Are you emotionally stuck and then that changes your life? Or, you know, you're going through a thing in your life and then that makes you emotionally stuck. It's like, but Spirit's saying, yeah, change is happening for you, even if you don't see it, and even if you don't have any energy left to create that change. That's what Spirit wants you to know. Oh my goodness, Spirit's saying, like, don't worry if you are out of energy, if you feel burnt out, if you feel exhausted and you're like, I can't do anymore. Spirit is almost saying that Spirit wanted you to get to this point that you could just surrender. And I know surrendering is hard, especially, you know, but Spirit is saying, like, please do not try to push yourself right now. Do not try to do more. Just literally allow the universe to help you. Okay, so for you, it's really about letting yourself be helped. It doesn't have to be by any one person, but it's like letting the universe basically help you. And I just realized the Emperor is on the back of the deck, so we're gonna pull this card and let's tune in. There we go. Chess. I'm getting this. Okay, so interesting. Spirit is saying a really cute message with this Emperor card. It's like, what you don't see coming is you're about to really be elevated in your feeling of your own personal power. And the way that it's doing is like, you know, when you play chess and you kind of might make one move and then you don't fully know like all of the ways that that one move could actually like open up a different pathway in chess for you to like win or whatever, or checkmate or whatever. So I'm kind of getting that like this shift, this change for you, this emotional release for you, it's big. Like, it's going to open up a pathway for you on the chessboard of life, so to speak, that is going to lead to you like winning the game. So whatever that kind of means to you, I feel like you have some kind of a goal or some kind of a vision that you are desiring. And I mean, I guess we always have desires, like that's kind of what keeps us motivated to keep on living and stuff. But it's like something that you've had your eye on, something that you've been wanting to claim, something that you could potentially win, because I'm seeing the chess game thing is like to win, right? The aim of chess is, I guess, to win. I mean, I guess you could aim to learn through it, but you know what I'm saying. You're going to win something, basically, group one, okay? And it's going to make you feel so powerful. Like, hello, it's really powerful energy. The Emperor, my goodness me. Okay, let's pull a clarifier on the Emperor. This is the Light Seer's Tarot, by the way. Ooh, we've got a few cards. Oh my gosh, yes. The Ace of Swords. What you don't see coming? Totally new perspective of your life. Totally new perspective of your life. And think about it, okay? We're going to go back to the river. We're going to go back to the river where it all began for you, this reading. But think about it. If you are swimming upstream, okay? If you're swimming upstream in a river, then the whole time that you're swimming, you're going to be focused on the exertion. You're going to be focused on how it's hard and how, you know, you're going to get puffed out. You're going to be really laser focused on like the pain of swimming against the tide and how hard it is and how much effort you have to put in, okay? Versus if you start flowing downstream, then all of a sudden your vision can expand and you can just take in the beautiful scenery around you, right? So I'm seeing new inspiration coming in for you, new awareness, new perception of what has already occurred in your life, but you're going to see it in a different way because now you're floating downstream and you've got all the freaking time in the world to appreciate your life, okay? Now we also have the Three of Wands, which is about our future, or about your future, sorry. Our future. It's about your future. So you are going to have a vision, because we've got the Ace of Swords here as well. It's like you're going to have you're going to have like you're going to have a download about how a certain way of moving forward. Remember how I was picking up that chess energy with the Emperor here? And I was like, you know, when you make one move in chess, you don't know if it's going to like, ultimately you don't know if it's going to kind of like mess it up and you're going to get, whatever, because there's so many different ways that chess can go and versus anyway, it's getting kind of complicated, but there's like, you're going to make this move or this change is going to happen, and then maybe you'll make a move, or maybe the move is this change that's happening, this emotional release, and it's like, boom, this pathway opens up and you see it so clearly. You're like, oh, I'm on the finish line, like I can see the win right there in front of me, and you're like just waiting to make that next move because you're like, yes, I'm gonna win, I know it. So it's like this really beautiful energy of this pathway opening up for you. Okay, it's a pathway opening up for you. And I'm seeing this surfboard on the Three of Wands here, and I'm getting this energy again of the water, okay, because surfing is the ocean. So it's like there's some emotional new beginning happening for you, and I'm getting huge sacral chakra energy again, okay? It's this emotional release that's making way for an emotional new beginning, and it might come in, like, Spirit is saying that as much as this reading has talked about emotions in terms of releasing something in order to unblock that sacral chakra, that holding, that stuckness, Spirit is saying that really your the gift that's coming to you through this next period, I'm seeing like the next 3 months actually, is really one of like emotional purity. I'm hearing. What does that mean? It's like being able to be truthful about your emotions, okay? So little insight here. One thing that I have observed about myself this year is that we can sometimes create emotional experiences for us through our thoughts. So if we're having really negative thoughts about ourselves, then we're going to feel really, really terrible, in ourselves, in our emotions. But sometimes, that emotion is not really true. It's not authentic because you're thinking thoughts that aren't true. Like, oh, I'm so this or so not that. And it's not true, and it makes you feel bad about yourself, okay? So when we are evoking emotion for ourselves from a place of telling ourselves lies and telling ourselves things that aren't true, then that emotion is not really healing you, okay? So I want to make a clarification here. We can create emotional states for ourselves through the thoughts we're thinking that are maybe attacking self or, whatever. But we can also have emotional releases that need to happen that are from a really true and pure place. And this is what I mean is like, there is an emotional release that's happening for you from a very true and pure place, and it's going to release a lot of energy that is creating a holding pattern through negative thoughts that are attacking you, or the way of looking at your situation is very negative. It's like there is going to be a clearing out, and therefore you're going to have a lot more elevated emotion, elevated frequency, because you're not really going to have I'm seeing you really becoming clear about the thoughts and the ways that you might create your own emotional states, and really being able to discern, is this emotion that I'm going through right now my own creation from negative thoughts, from limiting beliefs, or is this emotion that I'm going through now something that I really need to release? And sometimes it can be a little bit hard to tell, right? But I'm seeing you really like mastering discernment and mastering your ability to recognize when you might be keeping yourself stuck with the Ace of Wands through your thoughts. So with the Ace of Wands, it's like a new beginning in your thoughts. And that's what I mean. It's like you're going to become aware of thoughts and how they are impacting you. That's what you don't see. Wow. Okay, group one. That is basically all that I have for you today. But if you would like to check out the sleep tape that I have created, the link is in the description. And yeah, I highly recommend working with it. Much love. Bye. See you next time. Okay, group number 2. Nurturing with Gaia. So the first message that is coming through about what you're not seeing is that you are so beautiful, okay? I feel like this is a huge energy of like, you might not always have an accurate perception of yourself. And I mean, oftentimes, we might not, but I really feel for you, it's especially to do with like, you really need to recognize how incredible you are and start affirming that a lot of the time, okay? Because with this Gaia energy, it's like, it's almost like Spirit wants your self-image on earth to, in a way, reflect your divinity as a soul. And I feel that there might be sometimes a disconnect between how you are seeing yourself and like the truth of who you are. And Spirit really wants you to kind of download that a bit more. And I'm seeing like this energy here. It doesn't matter if you're gender or whatever, but I'm seeing this as kind of like your higher self. And do you see how beautiful this energy is? How beautiful this exquisitely abundant like creation energy is, right? So I'm feeling like you have so much power. You are so, magnificent, like breathtaking, and Spirit wants you to see it. Spirit wants you to see it, because it doesn't matter how many other people see it. If you aren't seeing it, then you aren't receiving it, you know? So the other message I'm getting is like really just love from your guides. Your guides want you to know like they are always with you. They are always loving you. They are never, you know, leaving you or abandoning you. They're always nurturing you. And so kind of like spirit, your guides, spirit, want you to recognize how cared for that you are with the nurturing, and how cared for you are allowed to feel and be in your life, okay? So I'm getting, yeah, very, very feminine energy here. Let's see, what are you not seeing? Group number 2. Let's see what else, you know, okay? Oh, group 2. 9 of Swords. Yeah, like you aren't, like, you're literally not seeing your amazingness, your worth, your power, okay? This is the thing. You are not seeing your power to create change and to be who you are wanting to be. Yeah, Spirit's saying like, it might not be all of the time, okay? You might actually be able to really own this energy of yourself sometimes, or own your beauty, or own your power or something, but I'm seeing that there's some kind of like subconscious patterning of your thoughts with the 9 of Swords that is really keeping you in this energy. And look, the number one thing I'm getting, I mean, obviously this image, she is distressed in this image, but the number one thing I'm getting from it is how her face is covered. She's covering her eyes. And what does that symbolize? Not seeing, you know, not seeing. So I feel like these 9 of Swords represents these thoughts that can come into our mind, or that do come into our mind, and they make us very anxious, and they make us very, maybe even not being able to sleep, not feeling safe in the body. So Spirit is saying like you aren't seeing the way that your thoughts are directly impacting your life. And this is where the subconscious work comes in, because if we are experiencing this 9 of Swords, you know, then we need to change our thoughts. And the thing is, because air, the Swords energy is air, which is our mind, which is our thoughts. So it's in the mind. It's not necessarily even true, because if you change your thoughts, then your experience of yourself and your world would change. But I know changing our thoughts is hard, okay? Well, it doesn't have to be. That's a belief in itself. I've actually started to try to affirm changing my thoughts is easy. But I know it can be also feel hard. That's true as well. But Spirit's saying like it has to be done. Okay, it has to be done. You need to change your thoughts, even if it feels hard, emotional, whatever. Start to affirm, you know what, changing my thoughts is easy. Becoming aware of thoughts for me is easy now, and I'm easily able to change it. So I feel like, yeah, Spirit's saying what you're not seeing is the impact of your thoughts are having on your feeling of safety, your feeling of your self-image, or your beauty, or your worth, all of these things. And Spirit's saying you deserve to feel beautiful, you deserve to feel worthy, you deserve to feel abundant, and you deserve to feel powerful. Okay, and this is what your spirit guides are wanting to lead you more into the experience of yourself as this powerful, magnificent, beautiful being that you are. Yeah, I'm almost getting Spirit saying from your subconscious mind, there's like a subconscious belief, sorry, the camera. There's a subconscious thing going on to do with, like, you might have even somehow picked up some kind of belief about yourself through your, childhood. Something to do with, like, maybe it's not safe for you to recognize your beauty. Maybe it's not safe for you to recognize your power or your worth. I feel a huge theme for you in this lifetime is something to do with you reclaiming your worth and your power. And it might be one or the other, or it might be kind of both. But yeah, I'm seeing like Spirit, that your guides are really leading you on this journey of reclamation of your true spirit, your true worth, so that you respect yourself, so that you attract in relationships that respect yourself, so you attract in a job, a circumstance, a living circumstance that's respectful to you. Okay, and you know where it starts? It starts with speaking to yourself with respect in your head, having a respectful inner dialogue, okay? Now, I mean, I have to say it, but I really would recommend you work with the subconscious sleep tape that I've created, or just a sleep tape in general. Really work with this, because the 9 of Swords especially is coming up as, yeah, it's making me feel like it would really help to shift that dominant thought patterning, basically. So let's see, what else are you not seeing about yourself? Okay, 6 of Cups, and we've got 5 of Cups on the back of the deck, and then we've got the Moon. So you know what? This is like a full subconscious mind reading. Like, this is, what you're not seeing is the moon talks about our subconscious. Look at the imagery. See how she's like underwater? And that's really kind of what the subconscious can feel like if we kind of look at it symbolically, because we don't feel necessary, like it's something that is like it's like beneath the surface, it's beneath our awareness. It's like the tip of the iceberg is the conscious mind, and then all that energy below the water is the subconscious mind. Okay, so I feel like Spirit's saying like, what you're not seeing is the way that your subconscious mind is impacting you. And you might even go to feeling a bit victimized by it sometimes. Like if you're like, why do I keep manifesting, not having enough money or whatever it might be. And Spirit's saying it's because of a subconscious block. It's because of a subconscious belief that needs to be brought into the light of awareness and changed. And again, sometimes doing that kind of belief work, it can take a long time, it can be hard. That's why, again, working with the sleep tape is so much easier, because you just plant a new belief and then you just care for that, nurture that, right? So the moon, wow, the moon with the 6 of Cups and the 5 of Cups. Spirit's saying like, what you're not seeing is that your subconscious has got these memories stored with the 6 of Cups and the 5 of Cups. This is memories from your childhood. This is, well, yeah, these are things that shape and create us. And there's nothing wrong with these memories being there, but it's about learning how they are impacting you now, basically. Learning how they're impacting you now. Now, one aspect of a message that's coming through is about emotional healing, and it's about recognizing that you might be bringing up a lot of energy from your past, like constantly thinking of your past. Because see the imagery in this card, it's like, it's like an older man with like an older dog, and then there's a young boy with a young dog. So this is really this memories, like going and living in that space of the past. Spirit is saying is not really serving you. And again, the subconscious mind can really keep us held in that space of the past, of this recreating the same energy. So clearing the subconscious mind is also going to help you release like any kind of stuck emotions and 5 of Cups energy. This is like disappointment, grief, hard memories to process, this kind of like stuff, the emotion that gets stuck in our heart space. So this has been really intense, group 2. I really want you to recognize your worth. Look at this. This is you. And this is what the other thing your spirit guides are saying is like, you are a part of Gaia. You're a part of Mother Earth. You are infinitely deserving. Okay. I feel like there might be a block in you to do with receiving like love and goodness. And it might come from, again, a very shadowy place in you that you're not really conscious of. And you're like, why do things keep manifesting? Why does it keep happening? And your spirit guides are wanting to come through to you and be like, you have power to change. You can do something about this. It doesn't have to be deterministic, like this is how my life's always going to be. I'm always terrible with money, or I never have enough of this to go around, or whatever. It's like you can change it. You have the power of Mother Earth within you. You have the power of creation at your hands through your thoughts. Okay, so I know let's see, I just saw a huge orb. I know that the thoughts thing can be hard. Like I've really resisted hearing that in the past, where I've like, really, I have to change my thoughts, because it can feel like a big weight, right, on yourself. But truly, if you just start to become aware, maybe even just set the intention to become aware of how your thoughts are creating your reality right now, being like, I'm having these thoughts every day, like that I'm so depressed, I have no energy, and then start to recognize and notice when those thoughts are coming in and how they make you feel. And if you have a thought that comes in and says, I'm so depressed, then you're instantly going to feel that. And if you try to just elevate a little bit, you try to say, you know what, maybe today can actually be a good day. You know what, maybe I can turn things around by tonight, Okay, so indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. This is interesting. Clarify. We have guilt. I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. Ooh, okay, so Spirit's saying that you might have a sense of, I'm trying this thing where I don't wear foundation, but I've got a red spot just popped out of nowhere. Whatever. I release any beliefs that do not assist in my soul's growth. And with indecision, there is something that you intuitively know that you might not want to believe is what your subconscious mind is trying to say. And it might have come up into your awareness like, oh, maybe this person isn't good vibes, or, maybe this thing is a test or something. And Spirit's saying you got to listen to your intuition, because I feel like guilt sometimes blocks it. And you know what? Guilt can actually be one of the things that blocks our ascension more than anything, because we have this perception that we don't want to hurt someone, we don't want to let someone down, or we take responsibility for like how other people will react to our own life. But Spirit's saying if you are truly anchored in your purpose, in your mission, in your life, then you really do not have to worry about how that impacts people around you. And it's not your responsibility to take on, and it's not your fault. That's what I feel I want to say to you, is that it's not your fault. Like, if you feel guilty because, you don't feel at home in your family system and you feel like you want to leave, that is not your fault. Spirit is saying, and you don't have to feel guilty about how you might make other people leave by going, how you might make other people feel by like leaving something and going off into your own space. So one of the big things from your subconscious mind is that guilt might keep you stuck in those thoughts, because you're thinking, oh, well, I don't have the power to do what I really want to do because that would let down my mom, or that would let down my dad, or I don't have the power to, really be, all that I want to be, because maybe I feel guilty that, who am I to want this thing, or who am I to be, beautiful, successful, abundant, whatever. So Spirit's saying, like, that's not really true. Like, these things, like guilt is an important emotion because it helps regulate us to do with our morality, okay? So it's a good thing that we have it, because it checks us out, and it's like, oh, I don't feel good about this, therefore I need to change it. But at the same time, guilt can also be a false sense of perception, and oftentimes there's such a thing called unjustified karma, which means that you might try to take on responsibility for something that was really never your responsibility in the first place. So I'm seeing with this indecision card, it's like there might be something that you do have intuition about, you do know, but there's something you keep doubting it. You keep feeling guilty for even having this perception of something, or having these thoughts about putting yourself first or something like this. So your subconscious mind is coming through to say your intuition is on point. You do not need to doubt yourself about it. And do not use guilt like to keep you down. Like Spirit's saying, guilt is... if guilt becomes dysregulated, if guilt becomes something other than just a sort of a guiding system to help us stay within, our own moral compass, to stay within the bounds of like what is truly right or wrong, if it goes beyond that, then it is unjustified, okay? And Spirit's saying, like, there is some kind of guilt that you have in your life right now that is unjustified. And it needs to go out the door, and you need to recognize that you're intuitive, that you are worthy, that you are powerful, okay? And anything or anyone that makes you feel guilty about that, you got to look at that very clearly and be like, why is that? And why would I think that, choosing guilt and choosing smallness and choosing sacrificing my own self, why would I think that that is truly Spirit's path for me? Okay? Because it's not. It's not Spirit's path for you. Spirit wants you to be in your power, recognizing your beauty. That's the big thing that comes through. It's like Spirit wants you to recognize your beauty. Really, for real. Okay, so group 2, this is the card that fell on the floor for you. 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups really talks about basically having a wish granted or a dream come true. Look at this energy. I mean, she is just celebrating this so much. And I'm seeing like this golden energy coming in. I'm seeing this. What you don't see coming is that you're going to have a lucky break, or you're going to have some kind of wish come true, like a prayer being answered, and it's going to really emotionally rejuvenate you, okay? And it might even be Spirit saying that some kind of a situation is going to be taken away from your life. This is what I'm getting. It's sort of like you might feel really stuck with like the 9 of Swords energy in some kind of a situation, or some kind of a, like not feeling not feeling able to like leave or make a decision with that indecision card. And it's like Spirit's saying like something's going to happen for you that's going to give you the gift of release and relief into basically like some kind of blessing. So it's sort of like, even if maybe the blessing could be for some of you that there's some kind of really challenging situation going on, and then Spirit's going to come in and it's like some miracle is going to happen where like you basically get taken out of that situation without you having to go through a really challenging like confrontational conflict or something like that. Like some wish is coming true for you, for some difficulty to end, and in the difficulties place is something beautiful being born. It could also be to do with your money changing, your financial situation changing, because with this treasure chest, it just makes me think of like money. But regardless, It's going to be something that gives you a lot of emotional fulfillment with the Nine of Cups, because let's also, the Nine of Cups comes after the Eight of Cups in the tarot, okay? And the Eight of Cups really talks about needing to walk away from things that don't serve you, basically. And so I feel like this Nine of Cups is like some kind of a blessing that's bringing you out of a situation that you needed to walk away from, but it's putting you into a situation that you really feel emotionally filled by and emotionally fulfilled by. So for example, it might be that you're working in a job that gives you a lot of anxiety, and maybe your boss is really rude or harassing or something, and you kind of like, oh, I can't handle this. Spirit's sort of saying like something's going to happen where you're able to leave that job really effortlessly with no conflict, and just like enter straight into, an even better paying job where you freaking love it, and people there are really kind. So there's some kind of elevation in your situation, in your circumstance, and Spirit's also asking you to pray to Spirit to be assisted. That's what I'm getting. Pray to Spirit for any help that you want with any situation that you want help with, and Spirit is there for you, okay? Now we're going to do one card to end your reading, and it's going to be advice from your spirit guides, okay? It's this beautiful animal spirit deck. Oh my gosh, I love it. Let's see. Advice for group 2 Spirit from their guides. Ooh. Aww. We got Black Bear Guardian. Gentle and wise protector, give me your confidence and power. Help me protect the ones I love. Awaken my intuition and guide me. Yeah, you're going to be protected from something. That's what I was getting with like the Nine of Swords. It's like if you're in a really tricky situation, it's like something's going to happen for you that is going to help you really leave that situation, but in the most safe way possible. It's really divinely guided with this guardian energy, and you are protected and safe, and Spirit really wants you to know that. Spirit really wants you to know that. And you might need to also do this prayer. So saying like, give me your confidence and power, help me protect the ones I love, awaken my intuition and guide me. Like, this is also to me giving me this energy of prayer. Like, Spirit wants you to speak out loud into the universe, like, help me. Spirit, help me with this situation, help this situation, serve the highest good for all and work out in the best way possible. Help me be elevated from distress and help me be delivered into joy, this kind of energy. Okay, I want to pull one more for you, group 2, from this animal deck, because I just feel it. Let's do one more for group 2, Spirit. Giraffe Visionary. Rise above earthly matters. Glide through life with grace. You are able to see the right path. Stand tall in your self-worth and love with a big heart. Yeah, stand tall in your self-worth, group 2. You're so worthy. Maybe some situation that's caused you a lot of stress has like taken it. Your self-worth might have taken a bit of a hit, because that's totally natural. But Spirit's saying come and reclaim it, because it's here for you. Okay, your self-worth is here for you. Yeah, and with the rise above earthly matters, let's zoom in. You are able to see the right path. And this is the other thing coming through with your intuition, with the indecision card intuition, and then with that guardian card about intuition. It's like Spirit wants you to listen to your intuition. If something isn't feeling right, if you're feeling really distressed in a job or any kind of situation, then that is true. That's not something wrong with you. That's true. Okay, so yeah, I see this visionary thing. It's like you're going to really be elevated into a new vision of your life, a really new vision of what is possible for you, because of course being in a holding pattern of things being really tough, it can be hard to really have that broader perspective on your life. So I feel like Spirit's coming through to grant you a really different perspective about things, and maybe that perspective is going to be born from the change happening for you. Okay, so group number 2, I send you off with so much love from my heart, and absolutely check out the sleep tape that I have created. The information is in the link in the description box. The information is in the link. The link is in the information box. I told you. Anyway, I send you off with so much love, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Group number 3, love and compassion. So what aren't you seeing in your life or about yourself? So first message that wants to come through is a message about how deeply loved you are and appreciated you are by people in your life. Even people you might not really know, like people really benefit from your existence. And your spirit team really want you to know that, and to like, your subconscious intelligence understands like the impact that you make on the world around you, because your subconscious is like always in tune with what is true. Like your subconscious always knows. Like if, for example, if you pass someone in the street and you smile at them, it's like your subconscious will be able to feel and receive what energetic imprint or what energetic difference that you made on that person. Okay, and even the infinite intelligence of your subconscious to do with like unity consciousness, right, where we're all connected together. It's like you will your subconscious will understand like how you smiling at like one person trickled out and like impacted like all these different events occurring. So a really big message for you is like about how powerful you are and about how much of a difference that you actually make, and about how loved and cherished that you are. And I feel like Spirit really wants you to see this and recognize this and claim this for yourself, especially if you ever have any doubts about like, what if people don't like me? Because I'm almost getting a bit of a inner child thing coming up sometimes about like, well, what if people don't approve of me? What if people don't like me? And Spirit wants you to know like, you are so loved. Like you're so loved. You're so, appreciated. And again, I'm getting this message of like, by people you don't even know, by people you might not even know that you impact. Okay, so Spirit, what else does group 3 need to know from their subconscious mind? Oh, we got worry. I am learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. Let's get a clarifier. I see. We've got growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. So with this worry card, with this, I'm getting this purple energy. Oh, yeah. So we have purple and we have yellow. And to me, purple is the third eye chakra and yellow is the solar plexus chakra. So did you know that the solar plexus chakra governs your sense of sight, your vision in the world? So root chakra is your sense of smell, sacral chakra is your sense of taste, solar plexus chakra is your sense of sight, like physical sight, heart chakra is your sense of touch, throat chakra is your sense of hearing, third eye chakra is your sense of, spiritual sight, psychic vision, clairvoyance, and then the crown chakra is, I've heard it described as different things like empathy, universal love, unity, that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff. But basically what I'm seeing as a message from your subconscious is like, Spirit would like you to change the way that you visualize, okay? Because we got vision coming in here through our spiritual vision and through our physical vision. So Spirit is, we got a lesson coming in from your spirit guides. Okay, so when you are visualizing, like you might not even realize that you are visualizing all of the time. Even if your visualization isn't super crisp or like clairvoyant or anything, you are still visualizing all of the time. And do you know how often we visualize things that are based in worry and doubt or based in fear? We visualize like, oh my God, we're not going to have enough money to pay rent, and then we're going to go homeless and all these terrible things are going to happen. Like so often of the time, we actually visualize things that we do not desire. We do not desire that to happen, but sometimes we compulsively keep visualizing, a terrible event from happening. So Spirit is saying that there is like so much growth work available to you if you start to really bring intentionality to your visions, to your visualization, and even really getting in touch with doing it all the time. Like all of the time, kind of dropping into a daydream, as often as you can, obviously, as often as you have time for, dropping into a daydream about what it is that you truly want to experience, what it is that you truly want to create, okay? And you might be interested in like Neville Goddard's work, who talks about imagination creates reality. I mean, a lot of people talk about imagination creates reality, but I'm really seeing like you have a powerful imagination. You might have a very gifted third eye, or you might have clairvoyance and stuff. Therefore, when you visualize things, it's a lot more powerful. It's very powerful. Now, the other message coming through with this solar plexus chakra and growth, I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. Interesting. But what I'm getting from this with the solar plexus energy is like the solar plexus chakra can be how we are looking out into the world. Like I said, it's our physical sense of sight of our physical world, not our spiritual sight, but our physical sight. And obviously the third eye and the solar are very intricately connected because, yeah. But anyway, all of our chakras are connected. But the solar plexus to me is saying Spirit wants you to stop using the physical reality of what's around you to be deterministic about it. Okay, so what do I mean? Like, if you are experiencing, and I know it's hard, but this is what Spirit's wanting you to do. If you're experiencing, not having enough money to pay a bill for something for some reason, then instead of visualizing all the ways that, you not having enough money to pay the bill could go wrong, and all the ways you might be punished by the universe, or all these things that could happen to you, it's like visualize yourself paying that bill in full, and just that feeling of relief and release of just having it out the way, and then you got money coming in to buy whatever else we want, this kind of thing. So Spirit's saying, like, as much as it might be easy for us to look in the physical reality and be like, this is what this is, and this is how this is, and this is what this is happening, truly this is not, like, our physical reality is not deterministic of what is true, of what is possible for us, of what we are creating. It's really just a reflection of what we've already been imagining, of what we've already been thinking, okay? So Spirit's really encouraging you to change the way that you visualize, to change the way that you imagine, because this is going to lead to a lot of growth really fast. Like, you already have superpowers in terms of your visions, in terms of your ability to visualize, and you might have really great visions as well, because I said that. But Spirit's saying, like, really bring intentionality to it, especially bring intentionality, like, choose a vision for yourself and a daydream, a fantasy for yourself that brings you the most amount of emotional, that heightens your emotions the most. Okay, so you might have a dream to, like, have a certain dream house. It's like Spirit is saying, instead of sort of focusing on the house you have right now, which you might not like, or that it's not ideal, it's like, start to just get lost in your daydream world, in your fantasy world, in your vision, in your visualizations, because this is such a powerful, like, gift that you have that you might not be seeing about yourself, or that you might not be seeing about the way that reality is really created. And I feel like your guides want you to give yourself permission. It's like, give yourself permission to get lost in daydreams and to get lost in fantasy. And it's like, almost like you might have picked up some kind of an idea that, like, imagination is, like, not really worth anything, or it's not really, like, powerful, or it's, a waste of time. It couldn't be further from the truth. Like, truly, like, our ability to visualize is one of the greatest gifts we've ever been given. And again, we need to bring heightened emotion with that visual, but at the same time, like, I feel like you're already very good at directing your clairvoyance, or directing your vision, or even maybe needing to become a little bit more ruthless about, like, not accepting external conditions. Being like, okay, yeah, I might not have enough money to pay this bill, but that is not permanent. That is just right now. That is something that I can easily change, and I can begin to change that at any time, So I'm also getting for you that if you just start to shift a little bit, like, you have great powers of shifting your perception, okay? This is one of your superpowers, is that you are really good at shifting perception. So if things are going on in your life that are not ideal, Spirit's saying, shift your perception of it, or shift the way that you are affirming it. And that, again, is going to create a lot more, like, space for things to grow and change. Because I'm seeing a lot of growth wanting to come in for you, but I'm seeing that your guides are trying to get you to really align with the visual aspect of it, because we're getting so much vision energy. So really align with the vision of it. And instead of worrying and putting a lot of visualization energy towards the worry or the worst case scenario, it's like, start to just be like, I'm going to just jump right in now to a vision about what it is that I actually want, what it is that I actually want this outcome to be. And you can even visualize, like, you can change things that have already happened. So if you had an encounter with, like, your boss or something, and it didn't go well and you felt weird about it, you can go home later that night and visualize it as if it had gone differently. And that's going to change really your emotional state. Like, I'm seeing you can have so much growth happen if you just start working with the vision aspect of life, with the visualization aspect of life. Now, if you ever struggle with visualization, okay, so I'm working in source codes, I've heard a lot of people who might struggle with the visualization stuff, and it might feel blocked off, and that is totally valid and fair, and there's a lot of different reasons for that, but I kind of don't really want to go into it in this video. But if that is true, then try to just simply work with the emotion of it. Like, try to really get elevated emotion to do with what it is that you are desiring, and or work with props, like work with, looking at houses on the internet that you really want, that you really desire, and then visualize yourself in that house, and work with prompts or props to help yourself visualize, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so what else does group 3 need to know from their subconscious mind, Spirit? Three of Cups and the Chariot. Oh my gosh, you have soul family coming in, group 3. Group 3. Yeah, you might not know that. You might have been feeling like a bit isolated, or maybe not connect, like a bit disconnected where you live from like other spiritual people, or whatever. Community might be something that you've been thinking about recently, and I'm seeing like in-person community coming into your life pretty fast with the Chariots like rushing in, and I feel like, yeah, you might not see that this has been manifesting for you through all the work that you've been doing, even through like soul contracts that you made previous to incarnation. It's like there's some big destiny moment coming in for you within the next 6 months, I'm seeing, maybe less. And it's going to really reunite you with your soul family. So that's going to be a very beautiful, beautiful experience. Like I'm seeing specifically community highlighted, or friendship. But I'm really feeling like it's going to change you quite a lot, because you might have gotten quite used to things being the way that they are, and like, you know, maybe not feeling fully satisfied, but it's almost like you became neutral towards the conditions of your life, which is like to do with your friendships or your community situation, which has allowed for it to change, which is like the neutrality, the neutral space has allowed it to kind of tip in another direction. If it was in more of a negative space, now you're in neutral, now it's going back up into positive, if that makes sense. So with the love card that you chose, it could be love as well for some of you guys. You don't see that coming, but I'm seeing just really meeting people that feel like soul connections. Like, oh my gosh, I know you at a soul level. I like love, I vibe with you, I thrive with you, this kind of vibe. So yeah, that's coming in, and it's coming in because of some kind of subconscious healing that you've been doing. Okay, so let us pull some advice from your guides from this animal deck that for some reason I forgot the name of. Oh my god. Anyway, I'll have all my deck, like all of my decks are listed on my website if you're interested, so you can always find them out there. Okay, so advice for group number 3, Spirit, from their spirit guides. Oh, no. Your spirit guides are like, you're doing really well. It's almost like they're like, we don't really have advice in terms of like, oh, you got to change this, you got to change that, but they're kind of just coming through to be like, doing really well. And you probably need to know that, because maybe sometimes you worry that you're not in alignment, or you're not doing enough, or you're not being enough, or whatever. And Spirit's saying like, as confusing as the physical reality can be in terms of like, why is this condition the way it is? Doesn't that mean that things aren't going well? Spirit's saying like, really, there's so much more going on. And this is your card. Woo! We got Unicorn, infinite possibilities. You are the sovereign of the seen and unseen worlds. Didn't I talk about the sight, the vision, the unseen and the seen worlds? You are the sovereign, meaning that you can change the seen world, the world that you are seeing in your reality, through changing from the unseen worlds, through changing from the visualization. That will start to create a different vision, a different way of seeing your life, and therefore different conditions in your life as well. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning. Unicorn, infinite possibilities. Let me just read it out. You are the sovereign of the seen and unseen worlds. The magic of love surrounds you. Beauty transforms you. Listen to the spirits of light. Abandon the darkness. Go beyond the ordinary and become the legendary. Yes, and Spirit's saying choose love. You know, when a thought comes up that is like fear-based, and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be okay, and it's worry, choose love in that moment and be like, you know what? I am going to be okay. You know what I mean? And like start to really work with choosing love, because look at this, you are a unicorn. This is the thing, like you are so amazing, and you might not always see that about yourself, okay? So yes, because the vision thing, it's like you need to see that you are this amazing, this magical, this special, you know? Okay, group number 3. Please check out the sleep tape that I've created in the description box below. All the information will be there. And yeah, other than that, I send you off with so much love from my heart, and I'll see you next time. Bye.